Well, hi there.
I'm your host D, also known as MTF Doom on Marvel Snap, and today we're going to go over the 4 best decks to guarantee that you hit infinite in under 1 hour. Stay tuned, I hope you enjoy. So just before we get into it, y'all hit the snap that subscribe button down below, smash it, obliterate it like it's your opponent, emote at it because you're a toxic piece of shit. What's up, F slurs? I can't even listen. I was gonna do this whole thing in like a toxic streamer, theme. I can't even pretend. This is all a goof. I'm goofing on people who are doing the you can do it type stuff. We talked about this last season, how like there's no excuse to not hit infinite. It's like a very toxic mindset. I've seen so many videos coming out that's like, these will guarantee that you hit infinite with only a day left. Oh yeah. Oh, I should have used a Macho Man intro. The point is, all that's nonsense, and I don't actually build these decks. Anyway, let's get into it. Here's 4 decks that are going to guarantee you hit infinite. They're not the decks I used. I used Thanos Lockjaw to hit infinite, but I'm going to sell you on these ideas so that you keep watching, that you could hit infinite with these notably worse decks. All right, so deck 1, guaranteed infinite. You already know. This is basically a tier 0 deck. It's Cerebro 1. It's tried and true. You all know Cerebro 1, right? You just play stuff that has 1 power, and you play Cerebro and it gets 3 power, and then you play Mystique and it gets 5 power. You got stuff like Iron Man, which I know it's 0, not 1, but it'll double all your 1s up to 2 power, right? Anything in this lane, it has its power doubled. If you didn't know, that's what Iron Man does. How good is that, right? And then your 1s become 2s, but then they become 3s, and then they become 6s. And then, you have all this awesome tech like Rogue, because no one's playing Enchantress, so Rogue must be good. Luke Cage, because of opponent's Scorpions and nothing else, because we're not reducing anyone's power. An Electra to destroy their 1 cost. You get to destroy exactly 1 Infinity Stone from the myriad of, just everyone playing Thanos. You're going to get them once with an Electra. Enjoy that. All right. This deck needs no explanation. Everyone knows about the Cerebro 1 deck. It's tried and true. You've all played it before. Let's get into the real spicy stuff. Cerebro 4. So, Cerebro 4, Mysterio, you know how much I love Mysterio. The best part about this deck, it runs Mysterio and Mystique. So even if I say the wrong one, I still actually meant the right one. And you can't even disprove me this time. So, take that. They think you're going to play a movement deck because you play Kingpin. No, you're not. They don't know where Mysterio 4 is. They think it's in 1 spot, but then it's actually another spot, and then it gets +2, so it's actually a 6 power Mysterio, and who knows where it is. If you have a bad draw, shuffle it back in with Crystal by playing it in exactly the middle lane and searching out your Cerebro and Mystique. Ignore the fact that Crystal can redraw the card you just shuffled in. She has 4 power. Idiot. Sarah, so you can just you can go off. Girl, go off on turn 6. They will not know what hit them. Ignore the fact that this is probably the worst use of this card, and you won't win games with it anyway. This deck is crazy good. Sabretooth, yeah, we have nothing to destroy Sabretooth, but Death's Domain exists. Idiot. Yeah, I bet you feel real silly for questioning my deck building. I'm the video creator here, and you are but a peasant. I'm so sorry. I can't even joke about that. Listen, I just really hate this mindset. Okay, back into toxic mode. All right. General Earl Z. Wins of the Civil War is what this deck is named after. You like card advantage? This is nothing but card advantage. Every card in here draws you cards. Every single one except Collector. Collector's your 1-win condition. Everything else draws you cards. This returns the cards to your hand so you can draw cards again. That draws you cards from your opponent's deck. That adds another copy of itself to your hand. It never undraws itself. This draws you 2 cards. This one, if it's destroyed, it'll draw itself. That's a card draw. Ignore the fact that we have nothing to destroy it with. Some locations destroy it, as we covered in the last video deck. Crystal, again, an all-star. Honestly, this is the #1 card you should be playing. Move over, Scarlet Witch. Crystal is the new Bay. Moon Girl draws all your draws again. So you're drawing so that you could draw, and then you're going to draw again, and then your hand is going to be full, but you're going to die with your hand full at least. White Queen draws their big draws. Draw all the draws. And then Helicarrier, when it's discarded, which is the opposite of a draw, it actually draws you 3, which is 3 times 1 draw. Again, ignore the fact that we're not playing Lady Sif. This is if our opponent's playing Moon Knight, or that one location that discards cards shows up. Then we'll have drawn instead of discarded, and then our opponent will retreat because we have so many cards, and our hand will overflow. Side note, your hand will literally overflow. You literally will not be able to naturally draw cards out of your library very, very early into the game. I don't care. And then the final one, honestly, this is the one you should be playing. Oops, all tech. There's no win cons. It's only tech cards. You might not win with this deck, but your opponent will certainly feel like they lost. You are only playing cards that hamper your opponent's game plan and nothing that advances your own. You can't deploy more than like 11 or 12 power in any given lane, and you are going to make the whole experience miserable for both of you, but at least, you know, you're playing tech cards. And maybe their Shuri won't go off because of Cosmo. Again, their Red Skull beats anything you can do, regardless. But, you know, maybe you'll get them once in a while. So that's Oops All Tech. Easily, we already had a tier 0 on this list. So this is probably tier -1, because I'd say it's even better than Cerebro 1, which is tier 0. That's it. What's up? Follow my Patreon. Give me money on coffee. I am a content creator. Bow before me. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a great day. And I will see you all tomorrow.